Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Al Shai by Shem Kodash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. I'm going to entitle this video, The Poor and Destitute of Our People. This is the first, this is on ABC News Chicago, ABC 7 Chicago, Chicago migrants bitter battle elements during first snowfall, and it snowed. It actually snowed. Many still outside during days. So a lot of these are our people now. For you Israelites out there, we got to go teach Israel. Well, here's Israel right here. See no camps out there. I'm going to the part where this is the first snow, by the way. I was just watching a Millionaire Morning Show. Okay, see the snow. They mostly from Venezuela, maybe some from Colombia, not Mexico. They look closer to like a darker. See, there goes some snow. Let me get a good picture now. And it showed the street. Hey, these people are catching hell, man. Bear me for a minute. They showed a scene with the streets covered with snow and the tents covered with snow. Hey, these red states are not going to take them in because they ain't got no love for anybody. So we under the curses unto this very day. So we're not the Israelites. And it's cold in Chicago. There's volunteers working to help migrants in cold weather. Now you got the IUIC. They need to bring their ass to Chicago and help these people. They got money where they can build a building. Take them in. They're going to go all the way to Africa trying to save the Africans when you got your people over here. And I saw the video that the Bishop Nathaniel did an interview about him being a police officer for 16 years. He spoke about the utter corruption of the NYPD, but he chose to stay with the that corrupt organization for almost 20 years. And they were saying how you got to go in the neighborhoods and give tickets and seat belt to make money. It's a shakedown. That's called corruption. And the Bishop Nathaniel said, well, let's go where the so-called Jews are, and they pretty much they don't do it to them. They target our people, the people that are barely living. So you got to watch the interview. I got to find it again. But you're part of a corrupt organization that extort people, because that's extortion. When you pull people over for not having a seatbelt, and most people don't wear seatbelts. Police don't wear seatbelts, so it's not it's doing it because it's a safety issue. No, it's a money issue. You were part of a corrupt organization and you chose to stay there for 16 years, and I believe you got fired. You had to leave because of that situation where you set up these two guys, and one of I think either one of them was supposed to be like 6'5" or whatever, and the two guys are the other way around. But it said one of the suspects was like 6'5", 6'6", but you captured two guys that were like average heights, anywhere from 5'8", 5'9", 5'10". So you were part of, you were part and parcel with a corrupt organization, and you had no, you're over there in Africa without all that money y'all got. Ooh, we build a building for these Africans. You need to build a damn building for these migrants, man, which are Israelites. Says right here, this was put up 2 hours ago. Chicago migrants face frigid temperature, rushes to deploy.
Swollen prostate. Try adding this to warm water.
No. Give me a second. Yeah, excuse me. Bringing asylum seekers in from the cold. And they're in this situation because they're poor. They have nothing but the clothes on their back, maybe a bag, duffel bag. And like I said, it's cold out there in Chicago. Instead of taking a plane to Africa, oh, we got to help the African. You got to help Jake over here, man. Why don't you help him? Well, I'm a bum. I can't. I need help my damn self. I need help my damn self. I think it was Millionaire morning show. They showed the streets covered with snow, and this looks like California, L.A. And they say that the majority of the people, a lot of the people that live in L.A. that are homeless, they come from other states because it's a warm climate. Trying to get some good. Okay, here they go. And they're not used to this. They're from a warm climate. These Israelites here. This is a sad situation. They got some of them. Some of the women are pregnant. You got toddlers. You got infants. You got old people. You got women. This is a bad. This is showing the true how America feels about these people. They basically niggas that speak. That's how they look at them, niggas that speak Spanish speaking niggas. They don't care about them. Let me go to this. Okay, Proverbs. Y'all should know where I'm going to go to. Proverbs 29. Proverbs 29. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Let me look at that in the NLT. When the godly are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked are in power, They groan. I put in the word destitute. It comes up 8 times. So we're still under the curses of Deuteronomy 28 to this day. Curses shall you be in the city, and curses shall you be in the field. The city is Babylon the Great, and the field is the rest of the world. So they came from outside the city into the city. They came for a blessing, and they received the curse. Psalms 141 and 8. But mine eyes are unto thee, O power, Yahweh, in thee is my trust. Leave not my soul destitute. So these Israelite, these tribes are destitute. You know, you Jakes up here in America, oh, it's a hard time, man. I can't, this is too hard for me. I can't, we live in, look, you got a house over your head, you got cable. You watch the pay-per-view. You have money to pay for the pay-per-view over the weekend. You can order food from DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates. You don't even got to go out no more with your lazy asses. You got a whip. Your girl got a whip. Okay, it says here, Ezekiel 32, verse 15, when I shall make the land of Egypt desolate. That's talking about America, code for Babylon, or America. And the country shall be destitute of that whereof it was full. Yeah, because an hour before the missiles hit, Babylon's going to be full. The new scriptures you can hit Babylon on the destruction of Babylon. Let me read this again. I'm going to read this in the NLT. It says, when I shall make the land of Egypt desolate, and the country shall be destitute of that whereof it was full, destitute, desolate, or desert. When I shall smite all them that dwell therein. Dwell where? Dwell in Babylon. Anybody that's left in Babylon, that's why we're looking to be out of here, man. We're looking to be beamed up. It says, if the righteous scarcely make it, by the strangeness of his salvation. They shall be amazed by the strangeness of his salvation. Then shall they know that I am Yahweh. Then you're going to know who the Israelites are. You're going to know who the Edomites are. You're going to know who the righteous are. You're going to know who the wicked are. We're going to be on top. They're going to be in the bottom. They're going to be working in the fields. They're going to get their backs whipped. It's going to be roots, but the faces are going to be changed. And you're going to be enslaved for 1,000 years. And then you're going to be utterly destroyed. Obadiah 1:18. Let me jump down to James 2:15. If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, let me open it up. And one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled. Notwithstanding, ye give them not those things which are needful for the body. They got to be in the house. They got to be warm. Ain't no way in the world these people, which are our people, supposed to be out there, man. You know, the IUIC, they'll go to Dominican. We're in the Dominican Republic. We're in Colombia. We're in Puerto Rico. We're in Africa. We're in Africa. We're in Africa to help wake up our people. Well, you got these tribes that are in Chicago and New York. Where y'all at? Like I said, well, what about you, Tahar? What you gonna do? I'm a bum. What doeth it profit? What doeth it profit? For if there come unto you into your assembly a man with a gold ring, and goodly apparel, and there come in also a poor man in vile remnant, and ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing, meaning the happy clothing, the good, the rich. That's what they do. Oh, he got money. We're gonna put him on a upper seat. You did that with Rudolph Windsor. You changed the thing. Certain people couldn't come to the hotel because you had to make room for this guy. That's a hypocrisy. But they'll claim law, 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 and say unto him, sit down here in a good place, and say to the poor, the bum, stand out there, or sit here under my footstool. That's the attitude of these guys. Well, this man, he's used to doing that because he's been part of a corrupt group of extortioners for 16 years. The first year, this is a corrupt organization, but you're gonna get up every morning and do your shift. This fucking hypocrisy. Are ye not then partial in yourselves, and are become judges of evil thoughts? Let me give you this right here. And they'll say, them GMS, them guys are bums. Well, what does the law say? Because you guys always say keep the law. What law? Wear your fringes. That's the only law that they keep. They're not keeping the Sabbath. The Sabbath doesn't fall on a Friday sundown, a Saturday sundown. So all of you groups that are keeping it Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, you're not keeping the law. The new moon, the Sabbath comes in based upon when the new moon comes in. All high holy days are based upon when the new moon comes in. And the new moon is when the moon is invisible, not full. So you can't tell me that the Most High is dealing with you when you keeping the Sabbath the wrong way. How can you say the Most High is dealing with us and you don't even know his name? Leviticus 25, verse 35. And if thy brother, this is the law, right? This is the law. This is the only way you're going to get in the kingdom of heaven. You got to keep all the laws. Give me that scripture, brother. Give me Matthew 16 or 19 and 16. What must I do to receive the kingdom? Keep the laws. Which, now, if our Lord would have ran down all the laws, he would have hit this one. He said, you really, there's something that, I keep the laws. There's something that you are lacking. Take all that riches, give it to the poor, and follow me. He said, man, I ain't doing away with this money. She said, you know how much I'm worth? And if thy brother be waxen poor, if they become bums, and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt receive him, though he be a stranger. What does that mean? An Israelite that was born out of the land, or a sojourner, a traveler through the land, which are Israelites, that he may live with thee. You take him in. So that's part of the scriptures, man. That's part of the law. I'm sorry, let me do this again. Second verse, Exodus 23 and 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. And that's That's the trend in Israel. You get with a guy that you think he's a leader, and whatever he says, no matter what wickedness, no matter what stupidity he says, y'all just follow him. That's why I call y'all. I call all of y'all zombies. If the guy's teaching something for years, then all of a sudden he flips it around, or Esau they're going into captivity. The Edomites, what so-called white man, they're going to be destroyed. Oh no, Edomites can make it, and you still sitting there? Well, you a damn fool. You a damn fool. You don't have a working brain. It said, "Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrestle judgment." In other words, you see everybody saying, "Yeah, this guy ain't right." You see that the guy is right, and you following the crowd. Get out the crowd, man. Inside joke. Neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause. Thou shalt not rest the judgment of thy poor in his cause. '11th verse, Exodus 23. But the 7th year thou shalt let it rest, that's the land Sabbath, and lie still, that the poor of the people may eat. And what they leave, the beasts of the field shall eat. In like manner thou shalt deal with thy vineyard and with thy olive yard. Bear me for a minute. I don't need that. Come on back to here. The hell just happened? If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, you're supposed to help them. Let me open this one up. 1 Timothy 6 verse 5. You really should start from the first. If a man teach otherwise and consent, If any man teach otherwise and consent not to wholesome words, sound words, sound, the scriptures speak about sound in the faith, even the words of our Lord, which the word there is kairos, which means superior, Yahushua HaMashiach, and to the doctrine, which is according, there's only one doctrine, it didn't say doctrines, which is according to the most highliness. He is proud, knowing nothing, but doubting about questions and strife of words, whereof cometh envy, strife, railings, evil surmisings, perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds. You were part of a corrupt organization for 16 years and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness. From such withdraw thyself, but the Most High with contentment is great gain. Contentment means, the Proverbs 30 says, give me neither poverty or riches. Meaning all your bills are paid for on time. Got a little pocket money, got some money in the bank. Whatever money you get, you pay your bills. You got a little bit of money to the side. You don't got $100 million, $1 billion in the bank. That's why it says, as you further read, we're at the 7th verse now, we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. When we had the New York camp, any brother, but when you tell brothers, any brothers uptight, they're afraid to say something. They might be uptight and don't say nothing. Oh, I'm all right. You gotta look. You gotta read their spirit. You say, "You sure, brother? Don't be lying to me. You know it's a sin to bear, to lie." And I'm a little uptight. What you need? Give me if I can get $20, we might give them $60. A lot of times I came out of my pocket and gave them $20 to say, "Oh, let's get a little collection," or whatever. Whatever. And then we teach them, brothers, look, you're supposed to know the neighbor, the fellow brother. You hanging out with him, you go get something to eat, and he says, "I'm not hungry." First thing pop in your mind, maybe he don't got no money to buy nothing to eat. So you tell him what? Don't worry, I got you. Don't worry, I got you. Oh, I'll pay it back. You don't got to pay it back, brother. I got you. It's on me as a brother. So these Jakes from Venezuela coming up here to the Americas, man, they're destitute. They're destitute, man. You got this major camp, brags about their money, how much they got, millions of dollars. Y'all got to be out there. Y'all be cleaning out, go to the hood, raking the leaves. You got people in Chicago and New York. You know how much money is spent on you brothers calling the situation with ISUPK and IUIC, the rumble that y'all had, the Royal Rumble. Y'all had a big march. What you did was you called about 3,000 men up, and they all spent money to hop on planes and so forth. How much money was spent to do that one-day march? 500,000? A million? I don't know. They had to stay in hotels or whatever they had to stay in. It says, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. What do people do when the draft coming up in just a couple more months, well, more than a couple more months. After the March Madness, because I watched the March Madness. If you don't know what I mean by March Madness, look it up. The draft draft pick, NBA draft. That's an event in itself. That's like a pay-per-view event. You know? Got his mom's there, his girlfriend with a bun in the oven. His father ain't nowhere to be seen. The mom is there. Grandma's there. Grandpa's dead. You might have a couple little kids of yours. Little Pookie, Tay-Tay, and Ray Ray and them. Then you might be the first draft pick, second, third, whatever, 7. And here he is from Villanova. Dexter Farnworth. Hey! They act like they're in the kingdom. They in the kingdom of heaven. Because your life changes overnight. So what they do? Off to the dealership. They ain't getting, look, they getting something 100,000 and above. They gonna get a house, a nice house in a nice neighborhood. They gonna get their mama the house. Then they broke. Then they have to, basically they'll renegotiate the contract. You might get endorsements, especially if you're number 1 pick, number 2 pick. If you're top picks, you get an endorsement. And guess what? They blow through that. Look, LeBron James, when he went from being a regular guy in high school, well, he was more than a regular guy. He was a standout. Was he the number 1? He was the number 1. He had to be the number 1 draft pick. Round 1, number 1 draft pick. Look, not even Michael Jordan was number 1. He was number 3. They didn't expect him to be what he became to be, the GOAT of that era. Hey, so LeBron James, he went from maybe having a couple thousand in the bank, living in a modest house in what is he, Ohio? Where's he from? Ohio? If I'm not mistaken, what he played for, they booed him because he left. He went to the Miami Heat, then he came back. They're burning his jerseys and all that. But he got a $10 million. He had $10 million from the NBA, and then he immediately got a sneaker deal with Nike, $90 million. So from 1 minute, he had a couple thousand in the bank to the next minute, how many? 50,000, 20,000, 10,000, 2,000. He went from having thousands in the bank to becoming a multi-millionaire. So what does Jake do? They buy the most expensive shit that they can buy. And you got these Jakes, your woman would say, well, I'm not going to be with you because you ain't making enough money. This, you know how many divorces and fucking shit go on with your woman? Except you marry a white woman. You don't got no trouble with white women. I'm just saying, man. All the drama with you brothers that got these Jake women is always some drama. Here you worth $100 million, and she want to leave your ass. That's why I say that's a series. Stay away from the black woman because she's no goddamn good. She's like Nazareth. The black woman is like Nazareth. Ain't nothing good could come out of Nazareth. It says, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and they snare and into many foolish and hurtful lusts. What a lust? You want something. Lust doesn't mean you got a feeling for a woman. Lust means you crave something. You want that. You want that house. You want that car. You want this. Homeboy's got a gold ring. You want that ring. And that goes into covetousness. To covet. Which drown men in destruction and perdition. What eventually happens to the majority of our people, not Edomites, Edomites that got these big contracts, they'll be retired for 20 years. They got him on the show. He's doing a podcast, or he's on ESPN. He's a commentator, and this man is still worth millions. He got restaurants going. Most of you Jakes are working. Man, you motherfuckers went from $100 million, $110 million, $200 million to working at goddamn Wendy's, man. And there's some of our people that are smart. So I'm going to close. But anyway, if you brag about, you coming off like the scribes and the wicked scribes and Pharisees, telling people to keep the law. You know what the Lord said concerning what they said? The scribes and Pharisees said to keep the law. He said, yeah, do what they say do, but don't do what they do, because they say and do not. Keep the law, keep the law. Part of the law is helping the poor. That rhymed. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. On to the next one. Shalom.